Noor is not something you can paint on your face. It's not a filter, not a glow-up. It's not found in creams, lights, or appearances. Noor is something far deeper. It begins from the moment you purify your intention. That first thought you have before doing anything, that silent whisper between you and Allah, that's where Noor begins. And yet, most people chase the outer look, ignoring what truly feeds their light. But those who understand the essence of intention, they unlock something divine. Because when your heart is aligned with sincerity, when your soul craves to please only its creator, something begins to shift, not just inside but even in your face. A man can pray 5 times a day and fast the whole month of Ramadan, but if his heart is full of pride, or if his acts are for people to see, then that light stays buried. It doesn't shine. Allah doesn't bless actions that are meant for show. Noor doesn't come from being seen. It comes from doing good when no one is looking. It comes from praying the 2 rakahs before Fajr while the rest of the world sleeps. It comes from biting your tongue when your ego wants to answer back. It comes from lowering your gaze when no one would blame you for looking. Noor doesn't begin in the mirror. It begins in the unseen. How many people you see walking around with beauty but no peace? Their faces are full of makeup or fame, but their eyes are empty. Now compare that to someone you've met who may not wear the best clothes, who may live a simple life, but there's a calm in their presence, a light that draws you. That's not charisma. That's not luck. That's the fruit of sincerity. That's the result of countless decisions made to please Allah and no one else. Sincerity is the secret ingredient no one can fake. It doesn't require a stage. It doesn't need an audience. It grows quietly, humbly, deep in the chambers of the heart. And the beauty of it, it's felt, not seen. You feel it in your words. You feel it in your prayer. You feel it when you choose patience over pride. You feel it when you do the right thing even if it costs you. That is where Noor is born, and it never dies with time, because Allah preserves what is done purely for Him. Even if the world forgets you, the heavens remember. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, was asked about who would be shaded on the Day of Judgment, one of the categories he mentioned was a person who gave charity so secretly that their left hand didn't know what their right hand gave. That's sincerity. That's the type of heart Allah loves. And that love is what brings Noor. Because Noor isn't a random gift. It's a reward, a reflection, a signal that someone's soul has submitted itself to its Lord and removed the diseases of ego, arrogance and hypocrisy. There's a reason the righteous always focused on their intentions before their actions. Because they knew that a small deed done with a pure heart can outweigh mountains of deeds done with the wrong motive. And they understood something most people forget: your outer look can be deceiving, but your inner state will always come to the surface. Eventually, if your heart is full of light, your face can't help but show it. That's not superstition. That's spiritual law. Some of the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, weren't known for their looks or wealth, but they had faces that glowed. You know why? Because they were sincere. They didn't care about titles. They didn't compete for attention. Their only concern was, is Allah pleased with me? That question alone guided their every step. And when your life is led by that question, you unlock a peace and beauty no salon or spotlight can give. Look at the people who truly radiate Noor today. They don't need to speak much. Their actions speak louder. Their smile is enough to soften hearts. Their presence brings comfort. That's not something you can learn in a course. That's something only Allah grants. And He grants it to those whose intentions are clean, those who purify their hearts every day, those who ask themselves quietly, why am I really doing this? Before you pick up your phone, before you post that picture, before you say that word, pause, reflect. Ask yourself, is this for Allah or for people? Is this for the dunya or the akhirah? That split-second check might seem small, but it's massive, because every act begins with intention, and every intention is like a seed. What you plant grows. If you plant sincerity, Noor will bloom. Even in hardship, sincerity shines. When a person trusts Allah during difficulty and keeps their faith strong without complaining, without showing off their patience for likes, That moment becomes a source of immense light, because Allah sees. And when Allah sees a sincere servant struggling and still holding on to Him, He doesn't just reward, He honors, with light, with peace, with love. So if you want Noor on your face, stop chasing external validation, stop doing good to be praised, stop worrying about what others will think, start living for the one who sees you when no one else does, start making decisions that cost your ego but feed your soul. Make it a habit to purify your heart before every prayer, every word, every post, every move. Your intention is the root. If it's corrupt, the tree can't bear fruit. But if it's pure, the results will shine, even when you least expect it. People might ask you why your face looks peaceful, why your smile feels different, why your presence feels calm, and you won't have a fancy answer, because you'll know this isn't from you, this is from Him, from the one who saw your silent sincerity and gifted you a light that no one could take away. The tongue is one of the smallest parts of the body, yet it holds the power to build or destroy. And what many people don't realize is that the state of your tongue is directly connected to the Noor on your face. You see, what flows from your mouth is a reflection of what fills your heart. If your words are soaked in remembrance, kindness, truth and sincerity, they leave behind traces of light, not just in your deeds but in your appearance, in your presence, in your soul. But if your tongue is careless, toxic, sharp with gossip, complaints, insults or lies, it doesn't just stain your record, it dims your spiritual light. The Noor begins to fade, not because others see your sin, but because Allah sees the darkness in your words. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who barely speaks, but when they do, every word counts? It feels real. It hits deep. It comforts, guides or lifts you. That's not accidental. That's the result of someone who trained their tongue, who refused to let it be a weapon of destruction. Their silence has wisdom, their speech has weight, and their face carries Noor, not because of their skin, their style or their smile, but because their words don't pollute, they purify. Every time you choose to remember Allah with your tongue, whether through tasbih, dhikr, Qur'an or dua, you're washing your soul, and when the soul is clean it shows in the face. That's why you'll notice people who consistently engage in dhikr have something about them, a calm, a glow, a presence that's difficult to define but impossible to ignore. They speak less, but what they say is valuable. They don't rush to comment on everything. They don't waste breath on slander or sarcasm. Their tongue is in service to their Lord, and their reward is light. Now think about the opposite. A person who constantly complains, who mocks others, who spreads rumors, or who always has something negative to say. Notice their face. It's always agitated. Even when they smile, there's tension. Their words have polluted their soul, and that pollution shows. It's not about looking good, it's about being clean within. A filthy tongue corrupts a clean heart, and when the heart is dark, no light can shine through the face. Our words don't just travel through the air. They leave a mark on our soul. When you say a word of encouragement to someone who's broken, Allah elevates you. When you recite the Qur'an sincerely, the angels surround you. When you praise your Lord in private, that praise manifests as light. But when you mock someone behind their back, even if they never hear it, that word is written. When you lie, even if no one finds out, your light begins to fade. It's not about getting caught, it's about being real. There is a saying, the tongue is the mirror of the heart. If you want to know how spiritually healthy someone is, listen to their words. Do they mention Allah often? Do they remind others of good? Do they avoid useless talk? Or do they speak like the world revolves around their ego? If the tongue is always negative, defensive, aggressive or impure, then no matter how much they pray, that Noor will struggle to stay. Because one of the fastest ways to lose light is to misuse the tongue. Protecting your tongue is not about being silent all the time. It's about being intentional. It's knowing when to speak and when to hold back. It's making sure that what you say pleases Allah. Even if it's a joke, be mindful. Even if it's a complaint, ask yourself, is this going to help or harm? The tongue is sharp. It can cut, but it can also heal. And those who use it to heal, to remember Allah, to guide others, and to speak truth, they are the ones who carry light on their faces. Sometimes people think that Noor comes only from worship. Yes, worship is essential, but your character is part of worship. Your speech is part of worship. If your salah is perfect but your words are harmful, you're blocking the very light you seek. The Prophet ﷺ said that a person may say a word they think is harmless, but it drags them deep into hellfire. And another may say a word that brings Allah's pleasure and earns them Jannah. One word, that's the power of the tongue. So if you want to unlock Noor on your face, start by guarding your mouth. Don't let your words be tools of destruction. Stop the backbiting. Stop the swearing. Stop the complaints that have no solution. Replace them with dhikr. Replace them with dua. Replace them with silence. Because sometimes the most powerful form of worship is not speaking at all, especially when staying quiet keeps you from sin. The tongue is the gatekeeper. When it's disciplined, your soul has room to grow. When it's loose, your soul gets dragged down. And the face always reflects the soul. It doesn't matter how much you invest in your looks, if the tongue is toxic, no beauty product can give you that peace. Noor is earned. It's a gift from Allah to those who cleanse their words and purify their hearts. Ask yourself, what fills most of your conversations? Is it gratitude or complaint? Is it remembrance or entertainment? Is it wisdom or noise? Shift your speech and watch how your heart follows. And when the heart aligns with truth, the face becomes a reflection of that truth. That's Noor. That's the light the righteous carried. Not from fame, not from filters, but from guarding their tongue and speaking only what mattered. So the next time you're about to speak, remember every word you say is either a brick in the house of your Noor or a crack in its foundation. Choose wisely, speak with purpose, and let your tongue be a servant of your soul, not its master. Then, and only then will you see that light shine, not just in your face but in your life. Noor is not something you can fake. You can't manufacture it with charm, nor imitate it through actions done just for display. It is born and nurtured in the depths of private worship, the kind of worship no one sees, the kind of worship where the only witness is the one who created you. That's where real Noor is formed. And that's why some people you meet radiate with peace and light, even though they don't seek attention and don't ask for praise. It's because their relationship with Allah is deeply personal, hidden from the eyes of people, but fully open and raw in front of the most merciful. It's easy to raise your hands and say, Ya Allah, when others are watching. It's easy to stand in salah when the masjid is full. But the real test of sincerity comes in those lonely moments when the alarm rings at 3 a.m. and your bed is warm, but your heart still gets up for tahajjud. When everyone else is scrolling on their phones, and you quietly pick up the Qur'an. When no one knows you're fasting, but you carry on as if it's just a normal day. That's where Noor begins to grow, because those acts aren't for the world. They're for the one who sees you in the dark, the one who hears the whispers of your soul. There is a powerful beauty in hidden worship. It humbles the ego. It reminds you that you're not performing for likes or followers or applause. You're standing in front of the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and only He knows the weight of what you're doing. And when you choose that sincerity over and over again, you start to feel it, first in your heart, then in your life, then eventually in your face. Because that light Allah places on His servants is not random, it's earned through moments no one else sees. Have you ever seen an elderly person who has prayed consistently for decades? Even if they have wrinkles, even if their body is weak, their face glows with something you can't describe. It's not skin deep, it's not from a spa, it's from years of sujud, from years of crying out to Allah when no one else could hear them. That's the light you can't buy, that's the light you can't fake. It's a gift from Allah, and He gives it to those who choose Him in private, without needing the world's attention. Our problem today is we're addicted to being seen. Every act must be shared, every emotion must be expressed, every good deed posted. But the people of Noor are those who intentionally hide their best deeds. They cry in sujud, and wipe their tears before anyone sees. They give charity quietly, they forgive without announcing it. They pray qiyam while the world is asleep. And that builds something deep, something the dunya can't take away, something that leaves a mark on their soul, and a glow on their face. The Prophet ﷺ said that on the day of judgment, some people will come with mountains of good deeds, but they will be turned to dust. Why? Because those deeds were done for others, they were never truly for Allah. And yet another person will come with just a few sincere actions, hidden from everyone but known by Allah, and they'll be honored with light. That's the value of private worship. It's not about quantity, it's about quality, it's about sincerity, it's about who you are when no one's watching. If you want Noor on your face, ask yourself, what do I do in secret for the sake of Allah? What prayers do I offer when there is no one around to clap or praise me? What tears have I shed in the dark, pleading with my Lord? What sins have I fought off quietly, without seeking validation? That's where Noor is made. And when Allah loves a servant for their hidden worship, He announces it to the angels. He honors them in both worlds. He places a light in their face, and a tranquility in their soul, that no trial can take away. This is why you'll notice that people of private worship carry something powerful. They may not be famous, they may not have titles, but their words soften hearts, their smile calms the anxious, their presence brings ease, because they've built a relationship with Allah in the dark, and He's honored them with light in the open. They don't walk around with arrogance or pride, but you can feel something different when you're around them. That's not charisma, that's the barakah of a sincere heart. We live in a world obsessed with being seen, but the ones who carry Noor are often the ones you overlook. The woman who prays silently in her room every night, the young man who fasts every Monday and Thursday without telling a soul, the child who memorizes Qur'an, not for a competition, but for the pleasure of their Lord. These are the people who may walk past you unnoticed, but their light is recorded in the heavens. So if you want Noor, you don't need a spotlight, you need sincerity. You need to create a world with Allah that no one else is part of, a private garden of worship, watered with dhikr, lit by sujud, and sheltered by sincerity. And when you build that world, Allah will place light in your life, He'll guide your steps, He'll protect your heart, and yes, He will place Noor on your face, a sign that your soul has tasted the sweetness of being close to Him. Don't wait to be perfect to start. Begin small. Wake up 10 minutes earlier for 2 rakahs, recite even 1 page of Qur'an with presence, make dua before you sleep with your heart open. These are seeds, and with every sincere action done in private, the seed grows, and with it grows your light. And when the day comes that the world sees you, they'll wonder why your face shines, but you'll know it's because you chose Allah when no one was looking. There is something uniquely powerful about serving others without seeking anything in return, especially when it's done in secret, with no announcement, no selfies, no validation. That's where the light comes from. That's where the heart begins to glow, and that glow eventually reflects on the face. Real Noor is not only born from worship, but from the humility of helping others purely for the sake of Allah. It's a kind of service that expects no praise, no recognition, and no compensation, not even a thank you. It's when your hands give quietly, your feet move silently, and your heart finds contentment in knowing that Allah saw you, even if no one else did. In a world where everyone wants to be seen doing good, there's something incredibly rare about someone who serves in the shadows. They might leave groceries at someone's door and never mention it. They might check on the sick and elderly without taking credit. They might see someone struggling and offer help, not with pride, but with gentleness. And that gentleness is what beautifies them. Because when a person serves with humility, Allah beautifies not just their heart, but their face too. We were not created to be isolated in worship, thinking only of our own salvation. The teachings of our faith revolve around service, feeding the poor, visiting the sick, giving from what we love, standing up for the weak. And the most beloved of these acts are the ones done sincerely, away from the eyes of people. That's where the reward multiplies. That's where the soul becomes lighter. That's where Allah places a special barakah that's visible to the eyes and felt in the heart of others. You might not realize it, but your quiet act of kindness today may be the very reason someone survives their hardship. It might be a smile to someone broken. It might be sharing your food with someone who had nothing that day. It might be holding back your anger when someone wronged you and forgiving them without ever telling anyone. These things seem small, but in the sight of Allah, they carry immense weight, and they leave behind a spiritual residue, light. That's why when you see someone who is constantly giving, who is soft in tone, generous in action, and doesn't advertise their good, you'll notice something. Their face holds calmness, their eyes hold compassion, their presence feels light. That is not random.
That is the result of their heart being in service to others while being in submission to Allah. And this kind of soul, this kind of heart, is gifted with Noor because Allah loves it. Even the Prophet ﷺ reminded us that the best of people are those who are most beneficial to others. But again, it's not just about being helpful, it's about the intention behind it. If you're helping someone so they'll post about it, if you're giving charity so people will praise your generosity, then your reward ends with their words. But if your heart trembles out of love for Allah, and you give just to seek His face, then the reward is stored, multiplied, and shines out from your very being, not because of the act itself, but because of the purity behind it. There are people who work for years behind the scenes, organizing food drives, supporting widows, building water wells, and they never speak about it. You won't find their names on banners or their pictures in reports, yet they walk with a certain lightness. Their faces have something different. That is Allah's gift to those who stay hidden for His sake. Their service to others is seen by the one who sees all things, and in return, He places love in the hearts of people for them, sometimes without them even knowing why. We live in a time where doing good has become part of branding. People document their charity like it's a trophy, not an act of worship. But the ones who truly earn Noor are those who remember that the greatest form of giving is the one that's hidden from creation, but known to the Creator. A sandwich given in secret might hold more weight than $1,000 donation broadcasted to the world, because it's not about the size, it's about sincerity, and sincerity is the mother of Noor. Even the smallest acts matter: giving someone a seat, offering a ride, helping someone carry their bags, listening to someone who feels invisible. These things don't make headlines, but they echo in the heavens, and they polish the soul. They train the ego to shrink, and the heart to grow, and as that heart expands with compassion, the face reflects it. People may say, "There's something peaceful about you." They won't know it's because you served quietly, consistently, and purely for Allah. There are people who are outwardly beautiful, but spiritually heavy, and there are others who may look average to the world, but whose faces carry a divine beauty that makes them unforgettable. That beauty comes from service, from selflessness, from secret acts of mercy. It comes from wiping someone's tears without announcing it, and from defending someone's honor when they weren't around, from making dua for someone in private without ever telling them. These acts are almost invisible, but they build light that glows from within. So if you want Noor, give without needing to be acknowledged, serve without looking for attention, help even when you're the one in need, and don't wait for applause, wait for Allah's pleasure. That's what counts. That's what lasts. That's what transforms a regular face into one that carries Noor, peace, and dignity. Because at the end of the day, the face is only a reflection of what the heart carries, and a heart full of sincere service, done for Allah, and not for people, will always glow. You won't need to prove anything. You won't need to explain. Your actions will speak, your face will shine, and Allah will love you. And when Allah loves you, He calls Jibril to love you. And when Jibril loves you, the angels love you. And when the angels love you, love is placed in the hearts of people for you. That's the true reward of sincere quiet service, the love of the divine, the light of the unseen, and the Noor that can never be bought or faked.